Official party. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Hughes.
I invite you to pray with me. Dear God, we ask that you bless this gathering today as we honor the accomplishments of these men and women who have shown their dedication and their perseverance through basic military training. They have answered their nation's call. God, we ask that you continue to guide these new airmen on the path of integrity and service and excellence throughout their careers. We ask you to sustain them while they're away from their family, friends, and loved ones. We thank you for the commitment of family, friends, and loved ones because they serve as a supportive foundation for these men and women. We thank you also for the foundation of knowledge and skills that the instructors and leaders here at Lackland have provided these airmen. May the wisdom and the discipline instilled through MTIs, senior non-commissioned officers, and commanders serve these airmen today and for the bright future of our Air Force. Lastly, God, we thank you for the freedom that we enjoy here in the United States, freedom that is made possible because of the sacrifice and professionalism of the men and women in the U.S. Armed Forces. May you continually guide us and protect us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Hughes. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Parade. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony. The Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Jason Carruthers. The Superintendent, Air Force Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Lee Hoover. Today's reviewing officer is the Commander, Air Force District of Washington and the 320th Air Expeditionary Wing, Joint Base Andrews, Maryland, Major General James Jacobson. From the 37th Training Wing, the Commander, 37th Training Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Jason Gennaros. Also in attendance with us today, Vice Admiral Alan Thompson, United States Navy retired. The incoming Command Chief, 19th Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio, Randolph, Texas, Chief Master Sergeant Eric Thompson, accompanied by his wife, Victoria. The Command Chief, Air Force District of Washington and the 320th Air Expeditionary Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Melanie Knoll. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 37th Training Wing is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Colonel Carruthers and Chief Master Sergeant Hoover will make a special awards presentation.
Detail.
737th Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. Subject, Master Military Training Instructor, Blue Rope of the Year 2018. Being selected as a Master Military Training Instructor, Blue Rope, is in itself very prestigious. However, to be selected as the Blue Rope of the Year for the 737 training group is certainly the ultimate honor that can be bestowed upon any master military training instructor. The instructors that stand before you today have been selected as Blue Rope of the Year nominees in recognition of their superior performance. From the 319th Training Squadron, Master Sergeant Saul Mitchell. From the 320th Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Serena Harmon. From the 321st Training Squadron, Master Sergeant David Webster. From the 323rd Training Squadron, Master Sergeant David Bard. From the 324th Training Squadron, Master Sergeant Stefan Perriman. From the 326th Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Catherine Dow. From the 331st Training Squadron, Master Sergeant DeMarcus Fournay. From the 433rd Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Crystal Cherrier. From the 737th Training Support Squadron, Master Sergeant Vanessa Espinoza. From the 737th Training Group, Technical Sergeant Lindsay Green. How about a round of applause for our nominees? Colonel Carruthers will now address our nominees.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Colonel Jason Carruthers, Commander of Basic Military Training, and today is certainly a special day. So I know that for each and every one of you, what makes this day so special is because we get to celebrate all of that amazing on the field, those 743 new additions to our Air Force. But what also makes this day special, it gives us the opportunity to reflect on and celebrate 10 amazing instances of professionalism. These Blue Rope military training instructors, to each and every one, represents the best of our Air Force. And I say the best of our Air Force, not in terms of just the best of those NCOs and senior NCOs that are hand-chosen from across our Air Force to wear that dark blue campaign hat and handcraft that human weapon system so well represented on the field today. But these 10 represent the Blue Rope Corps, that top 10% of those military training instructors. And so today is a special day because we get to recognize them, and then among that 10, announce the one, because there can be only one, that is that Blue Rope of the Year. But before I do that, I'd be remiss to not also be mindful of what we sit on the edge of. We're about to celebrate Veterans Day. And so to each and every veteran in the audience, on behalf of Basic Military Training, let me tell you that we are humbled by your presence, and our nation is honored by your service. So please join me in giving our veterans a round of applause. Thank you. And so if I can return to all things awesome right here, these mighty 10. Again, our Blue Rope instructors, these master military training instructors represent the best of our military trainers, those MTIs across our Air Force, of which we've got almost 700 here at Basic Military Training. Theirs is a legacy that can't be repeated. Theirs is a legacy worth honoring, and they certainly represent the very best. I like to say when it comes to our military training instructors that their kung fu is strong when it comes to what it means to be a professional, when it comes to being a leader, when it comes to being a mentor. But if our military training instructors, our MTIs, if their kung fu is strong, what you have to know is that when it comes to the Blue Rope, those are the ninjas. And these ninjas are so well represented today. And so with that said, I'm extremely proud and honored to serve along every single one of them, just as I am for every single part of our staff, our commanders, our chiefs, certainly our military training instructors. But to now is the moment to announce that Blue Rope of the Year for 2018. She's small, but I assure you she's mighty. Please join me in congratulating Master Sergeant Select Lindsey Green as our Blue Rope of the Year.
Thank you, Colonel Carruthers. The airmen who will pass the review today have completed a demanding 7.5-week program that provides Air Force units throughout the world with trained airmen. Part of this training includes the time-proven concepts of military customs and traditions, of which this parade is a vital part. All graduating airmen will also march over the enlisted Heroes Walk. They will lead the way for the thousands of airmen that will follow, all reflecting on our enlisted heritage, tradition of honor, and our legacy of valor. Our Commander of Airmen is Master Sergeant Brandy Collins, Master Military Training Instructor, 331st Training Squadron. General Jacobson will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. 37 Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellent Streamer. The Commander's Excellent Streamer is awarded to the 331st Training Squadron, Flight 692, for their significant accomplishments demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 20 August 2018 through 5 October 2018. Signed, Jason Carruthers, Colonel, United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of ruffles and flourishes. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating airmen passing in review today represent a portion of the 40,000 recruits who who will complete basic military training this year. The 737 Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the enlisted corps of the greatest Air Force in the world. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Air Force. The flights you will view today are a representation of the enlisted force. Each flight represents an enlisted member of the Air Force who has embodied our core values and contributed to its heritage. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass review, they will march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. The airmen recognized on the papers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States Air Force in armed conflict, including present-day operations in Afghanistan. They include 8 Medals of Honor, 27 Air Force Crosses, and 188 Silver Stars awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all airmen to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. Armed with the knowledge of our past, the airmen will exit the Heroes Walk by marching over a blue line, signifying their accession into the greatest air power in the world. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by the 737 Training Group's Drum and Bugle Corps, Murray Flight from the 321st Training Squadron, performing today under the direction of Master Sergeant Douglas Koss. Hometown, Selianople, Pennsylvania. These airmen are also in basic military training, but have been hand-selected to perform for ceremonies of this type. We would like for you to notice our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass the review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. Once the flags have passed the review, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all of our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass the review. Now passing in review, our Commander of Airmen is Master Sergeant Randy Collins, Master Military Training Instructor, 331st Training Squadron, hometown, Lemoore, California. From the 321st Training Squadron, the Drum and Bugle Corps, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, number 14, Murray Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Christina Schuler, hometown, Milton, Idaho, and Master Sergeant Michael Wright, hometown, Hampton, Virginia. Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, number 5, Gaylor Flight, led by Master Sergeant Janae Roque, hometown, Rockford, Illinois. From the 323rd Training Squadron, representing an Air Force Combat Action Medal recipient, Blue Flight, led by Staff Sergeant Christopher Bilski, hometown Denver, Colorado. From the 323rd Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 16, Roy Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Matthew Wall, hometown Maryville, California. The squadron selected as the color guard is from the 323rd Training Squadron, led by Master Sergeant Miguel Torres, hometown Ponce, Puerto Rico. The flight selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags from the 321st Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 9, Vinegar Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Derek de Guzman, hometown San Diego, California, and Technical Sergeant Brittany Scott, hometown Lexington, Massachusetts. The B Squadron Commander is Technical Sergeant Anna Berthalter, military training instructor of 321st Training Squadron, hometown Carlisle, Pennsylvania. From the 323rd Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 17, Cody Flight, led by Staff Sergeant Ryan Galbraith, hometown Southern Pines, North Carolina. From the 323rd Training Squadron, representing a Medal of Honor recipient, Kathy Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Martin Hernandez, hometown San Bernardino, California. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 3, Kissling Flight, led by Master Sergeant Taylor Santiago, hometown Colorado Springs, Colorado. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing the Air Force's first female Chief Master Sergeant, Peterson Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Daniel Sayron, hometown San Diego, California. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 13, Finch Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Megan Harder, hometown Sand Springs, Oklahoma. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing a Medal of Honor recipient, Smith Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Andrew Cuevas, hometown Osceola, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the United States Air Force song. 7.5 weeks, the airmen before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warrior airmen with the foundation to serve in the world's greatest air force. Once these airmen leave basic military training, they will enter Airman's Week, where they will develop their critical thinking skills and further personalize their Air Force core values. They will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of over 118 Air Force specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of over 84 Air Force bases around the world or work directly with our sister services. As these airmen move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the Air Force. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate in an expeditionary environment while maintaining home station readiness. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the U.S. military, and an even smaller percentage in the United States Air Force. You should be proud of their accomplishments thus far. The airmen before you have reached a milestone in their Air Force journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. These airmen are the future of our Air Force and will pave the way for future generations of airmen as we continue to fly, fight, and win. We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our squadron honor graduates as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all airmen graduating in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence these airmen displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. As the airmen march forward for the oath of enlistment, We would like to thank the families and friends who are here in support of the airmen graduating today. Your words of encouragement help motivate these airmen through 7.5 weeks of basic military training. On behalf of the United States Air Force and Air Force Basic Military Training, we extend our thanks to the many families and friends of American airmen for the support of our airmen and the greatest air power the world has ever known. General Jacobson will now come forward and address our graduated airmen. Instructors.
Good morning, everybody. What a great day. Sun shining on a new set of airmen. So, if it's anything that you young men and women in blue should learn, is find yourself a good chief. So my chief told me that the Air Force needs airmen and we need them as fast as we can, so make these remarks short. So I will do that today. Thanks, Chief. Pleasure to serve with you. All right, so my thanks to the family and friends that are here, to the Air Force leadership, present and past, especially to the past, who forged the path that you will now pick up and move forward, airmen. To the men and women from the San Antonio metro area. We don't do what we do in San Antonio without the support of the community, so my thanks to the community leaders that are here as well. You know, these last 3 days have been a shared experience for me. I was a basic cadet, and a cadet at the Air Force Academy a few years ago, 1 or 2. But running with these airmen yesterday, walking the ground in which they traverse to become America's airmen, watching them fight with bugle sticks to find a piece of themselves they probably never knew they had, reminded me of some pretty cool memories I have. But what it also reminded me of is the anticipation and the excitement of joining the United States Air Force. What does that hold? I'll tell you, it holds some life-changing events and some pretty heavy tasks. But the cool part is you'll have a whole lot of fun doing it, and most importantly, I am envious. I would absolutely start over and do it all again and be an airman in the United States Air Force. So my thanks for the honor of being here today, and remember what it's like to emerge into the United States Air Force, because it's the coolest thing there is. So let's say a few thanks. First to the 37th Training Wing, to the leadership of Joint Base San Antonio, and to the San Antonio community. You set the foundation and set the conditions to allow us to bring in roughly 35,000 airmen a year into the United States Air Force. No small task, but it is a critical task to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. So my thanks to you. Anybody remember their MTI? I do. Painfully at times, but again, I look on it in admiration in the end, right? That wide-brimmed hat. So let's talk about the men and women in the wide-brimmed hats. They're charged with the crucible of taking America's youth and forging them into America's airmen. That is no small task. That's a pretty huge responsibility. And let me get a sense of what it is. So on Wednesday night at 9 p.m., I was at the shopette right over there. And I see this airman in ABUs, and you can tell he's just tired. He's ready for the day to be over. And I was about to ask him what he did that made him so tired, and guess what I saw in his right hand? A wide-brimmed campaign hat. And so I didn't ask him what he did, I asked him how his airmen were doing. They said, well, sir, it's their 3rd week. They're finally starting to emerge as airmen. It's starting to get pretty cool. And he was pretty excited, but you could see the weight, the magnitude of making America's Airmen sit on his shoulders. Why? Because it was his first class alone. And he was tired. Why was he at the shopette? Because he needed to get some milk. Not for him, for his wife and 3 daughters. And when he got home, one of those 3 daughters would already be asleep. So what I offer is we owe thanks not just to the MTIs that forge America's Airmen, but to the family members that you don't see that support them so they can forge America's Airmen. And that weight on them is as heavy as it is on the ones that wear that wide brim hat. So help me take a second and say thanks to our MTIs. And then there's this other group. You might know them. They're the friends, the family, the moms, the dads, the sisters, the brothers, the uncles, the aunts, the grandparents. Anybody who traveled from miles away to see these cool airmen. Any of you in the audience today? Now you've heard them say, these airmen, your young kids are going to join the world's greatest Air Force. But is it the world's greatest Air Force because of the cool equipment they're going to get to defend the Constitution with? No. We're the world's greatest Air Force because of the airmen that use it. Your airmen. You can now say that. My son or daughter, my brother or sister, my nephew and niece, my grandchild is an airman. So my thanks to you. Because you raised them, you supported them, you built them. So my thanks for supporting their desire to be an American Airman and to be here to show your pride. So thank you for joining the world's greatest Air Force as a wingman for these airmen. The only thing I'd ask for you is I charge you one thing. They're going to be busy. I ask you to force them to tell you their story. One, so you know, because I've been there, right? I'm too busy to call mom and dad or tell them what's going on, but it's important that you know what they're doing. It's important that they talk about it so that you know, the community knows what they do and what their Air Force does. So now and again, put a little pressure on them. You can call me if you need help to make them tell their story, because it will be a cool story. They will be all over the world doing things they never imagined. So let's talk to this great group of America's Airmen. I have but 2 words for you. Be ready. Be ready to shape the course of the events of the 21st century. Because that's what you'll do. You'll stand as a sentry someplace in the world you never expected to be at a moment you didn't plan. And you'll do it for 2 reasons. One, to defend the nation, but I think more importantly, to carry the standard of America's hope and America's value. And as you carry that standard, you're going to run into a few adversaries that are trying to catch up with us. They're making great strides on land and sea and in airspace and cyberspace, and here's your charge. To best them at every turn. Because you will be asked to do it. To lead your Air Force more lethal, more ready, and more respected than when you found it. Now, I had the opportunity on Wednesday night to eat with the Chief Master of the Air Force Gala. Had a little dinner with him. And what it reminded me of is he handed me the Command Chief of Air Force. And I charge you that it is now your Air Force to move forward and be ready to hand it off to someone else. So I ask you to be ready. And it will not be an easy task, but in every challenge there's an opportunity. Be ready. But I think the most difficult task you're going to have beyond extending America's values and defending America around the world is actually going to change the entire scope, scale, and focus of our Air Force because of technology. That may not be what you expect me to say, but I'll tell you that you're closer to technology than I am in terms of embracing it. We will have computers that work faster. We will move data faster. We will use artificial intelligence to change the world, and your service needs to adapt to that. That is your challenge going forward, is to help your service see how to use all that technology and come out the end with the values that we went in with, but a more respected, more lethal, more ready force. The world will change in the next 15 years in profound ways, and you will be the airman leading the way. So I'm asking you to accept that challenge and be ready. Are you up for that? Are you prepared? Better yet, are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest Air Force? What do you think?
Instructors, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. General Jacobson will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Airmen, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. And that I will bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders. Of the President of the United States. And the orders. Of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations. And the Uniform Code. Of military justice. So help me God. Congratulations. You are America's Airmen, and welcome to the greatest Air Force in the world.
Thank you, General Jacobson. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as our newest airmen recite the Airman's Creed and remain in place for the departure of the official party. I am an American airman.
I am a warrior. I have answered my nation's call. I am an American airman. My mission is to fly, fight, and win. I am faithful to a proud heritage, a tradition of honor, and a legacy of valor. I am an American airman, guardian of freedom and justice. My nation's sword and shield, its century and avenger. I defend my country with my life. I am an American airman, winning and leading the warrior. I will never leave an airman behind. I will never falter, and I will not fail.
Thank you. Please be seated.